Hey guys, it's October 21st. I've been running around visiting folks and having folks visit us here and lost a few weeks of really working on anything, but got a few things ordered in the meantime. Show you what I've got and where I'm at so far. I'm going to go ahead and concentrate on getting the mechanicals going. Couldn't resist this little thing. You guys have probably seen there's about 100 videos on it, but I'm gonna show it to you anyway. It's a Eastwood company brake flaring tool. You grip this part in the vise over here. And then this piece clicks in for your handle. I guess that screws in, huh? Weird. Okay, anyway. It's got these little dies here that, like, this is a 3/8. And the thing I'll be using the most is the 3/16 little brake line deal here. So, if you haven't seen these, you ought to check out the videos of the guys that really know how to use them, because it's pretty darn cool. 3/16 or 4.75 millimeter. Okay. This little die set goes in here and indexes in. Put the tube in there, mash it. I'm sure I'll be getting a lot more proficient at it as life goes on. That was neat. That was a little pretty good chunk, like 250 bucks, but brake lines are important and I'm gonna have to run all of them, which brings me to the next box. I used to buy from a company called Dell City. I always thought they were in Oklahoma City, but they're not. But they're still around. Coolest thing is still around. So I found their website and ordered, I don't know, about $100 worth of stuff. So I got this huge box here. I didn't know what the heck was happening when it came in, but evidently they got a great deal on bubble wrap or bubble packing. There's what's in it. So I think they could have saved a little bit on the packing, but that's okay. It got here undamaged for sure. Neat company. I ordered some really cool stuff that's kind of hard to find around. They didn't have this in stock, so they shipped it separately from, I guess, from their Navico Group America is probably the people they buy it from. This is just a set of vinyl electrical tape that's different colors, so I figured that'd be great for tracing wires down. Can't have too many cable ties. 75 pounds, UV resistant. And I had one of these before, which is kind of overkill and silly, but man, they're neat. Cable tie gun. I think it was about 15 bucks. The great thing about these is they tighten it up the right amount, and then they give them a little twist and they cut it. So you get it wrapped around whatever it is you're going to cable tie. I'll call it some air here. And then you stick that into the gun, and it pulls it up tight. And then once you get it pulled up as tight as you want it, it'll almost break it. It'll pull it so tight. This is a really nice one. I had a really cheap little plastic one at first. There you go. child-proof, I guess. Okay. So if you got that up tight as you want it to be, just give it a little twist, and it probably won't cut it because I don't have enough resistance there. But these little teeth on the end, or this little blade on the end of it, cuts it, and it cuts it up snug with the end there that you tighten up. So that was cool. I've got a lot of cable tie stuff I need to do under the van, so brake line, well, lines and wires and that sort of stuff. So I figured that was going to be worthwhile. We used to stock this stuff. They called them thrifty spool, and they're just real handy little sizes of wire. This is 14 gauge and it's about 25 feet. They were a couple of bucks each. I don't know that. The whole thing, like I said, was like $100. Here's another weird thing. I ran across these at Home Depot years ago in the electrical department. If you're messing with circuits, no matter where, or hydraulic lines, or what I was thinking about on the van, on the RV, is like on where the lines go onto the pump for the air. Well, these are just a book of numbers, and it's like a little notebook, and you can tear off one of these little strips, and it's got 0 on it here. Of course, you make 10, 20, 30, 11, whatever you want to. Go through 1 through 9, and the 6 has got the little underline on it. Probably the 9 does too, but anyway, you can number it from one end to the other, and you put a note out of like 11 goes to bathroom light or what have you. So yeah, that's pretty handy. These are, and they're pretty tough usually. Moisture, oil, and smudge resistant, and they're self-adhesive, so they ought to last quite a while. Got a bunch of lines coming off of the air suspension little deal, so that'll be handy. This stuff I ran across at a dadgum boat store years ago. It's a silicone tape, and it's double lined so that there's a liner in between it, and then this has got the ends taped off because it's not gonna probably stick together very good. Let me see if I can get it apart here. But what you do is you can wrap like a raw edge of a wire or something with this, and then when it rips around on it, it seals itself to it. They called it like emergency tape, and supposedly you can fix hoses and that sort of stuff with it. I haven't ever used it, but I always did carry a little bit of it. Hose clamps, if you go to the parts store, are stupid expensive because they just decided to gouge everybody on everything little. I ordered these things. They go to the remote oil filler, and they're silicone, which I'm not a huge fan of silicone, but because it's soft, but they're oil resistant. The problem with silicone that we came up with when it first got popular on the police car heater hoses and stuff, this is when I first saw it. When you have the regular hose clamp, it has these little holes in it where your screw adjuster tightens up, and they go all the way through, and you'd go to tighten them down, and it would poke the silicone out of there, and it kind of tear it up. Well, they started making these, of course, they're probably aircraft from eons ago, with a liner in them. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's got like where the screw is on there, there's a sleeve behind it. So when you tighten that up, there's 2 layers of material there, and it won't extrude that silicone out of there. So they come pack of 10, so I'll just need like 4 of them total. But I got the little and the big, and they're pretty close tolerance. You got to kind of watch what you're doing when you order them so you'll get the right size, and I got lucky and did. So those weren't too bad. You can, of course, use them on a regular hose, and they're a little better quality for just regular ear hose and stuff, so I figured I could use them eventually. Okay, the brake tubing, I'm going to have to make up all the brakes for the coach. I looked online, they've got them at one of the suppliers for stainless steel line. Is like $500 for the set. There's about 15 of them, so it's sort of a fair deal, but I just can't spend that kind of money. Ordered this stuff. It's 3/16 brake line, brake tubing, and it's just regular, a 25-foot coil of it. I think it was like $17. And then these little tube nuts are what come on the end of the brake lines that everybody has to leave at least one of them off in their career when you flare a brake line, or put it on backwards. So I'm going to try to watch that. But you just take that and slide it on there, and then you cut your tubing piece to length, straighten it out, and flare it, and then do your bends on it. This is the first one I've pulled off of there. It goes to the let's see, this is the passenger side, no, driver's side, rear. It comes out from under the coach with a 1/4 inch line. I'll have to get some more line into this, and then it goes to this flexible part, so you get the movement for the wheels and the suspension. And then these are rigid mounted to the bogie arm. So these will have to be made separately. And then I've got one of the guys in one of the clubs has turned me on to a place that builds these hydraulic hoses. They're a specialty hose. They don't fit anything else as far as I've ever heard. So I'll have to get those built. If I don't get them built, they're $60 to $100 a piece. There's just 2 of them, but still, it's a chunk of money. The front brake hoses, I'm hoping are right. They're for like a 78 Olds Toronado, and 2 of the right side hoses supposedly will fit it. I'm gonna do some more checking on that before I get too carried away, but I got plenty of time. There's a thermostat. I think I showed you guys all that other stuff. I've been using this Rust-Oleum with the weird spray to get under the where the bogies go, and it seems to be doing a pretty good job. So I kind of like the Rust-Oleum stuff. See what else I got here. Oh, okay. Probably showed you this. I'm gonna get this is grease for the bogies. There's some grease certs. I've got them brushed off and everything, and this is probably about the 10th friggin' grease gun I've bought, because I seem to buy them and lose them or move. I'm trying to keep my paperwork together. That's kind of tough. And I'm also going to try to not have 18 notebooks. So far I've only got 2 that tells me what I'm planning on doing next on the coach. This I ordered from Applied GMC. It's a reprint of the parts book, and it's good. It's got diagrams that give you a breakdown of it, of the different components and series and stuff. Brake systems, some of the house stuff is in there, and I think this was like 20 bucks. They probably lose 20 bucks on every one they make, but their parts are kind of special, so they're really high. But there's some place you got to get it from them because nobody else makes them. But I thought that was pretty neat. GMC Motorhome Parts book. Digging around in the coach, I found a few other items in my archaeological finds. This is 78 Transmode operating manual. My little coach was built by General Motors, and they call them a Transmode because it wasn't finished out by them. It was sent to a company called Coachman Coachman is still in business, and Coachman put all the interior and stuff in it. This has got a lot of stuff in it about the bunks and the different interiors and stuff, and the power level 2. Mine's a power level. They didn't make too many power level 2s. It's weird. Quite a bit of difference in them. So this is a 77 to 78 maintenance manual supplement. This looks awful big for a supplement. Some of the notes from the previous owner, like this is a note where he put a CV joint boot on it, and it's got the Napa part number and what it fits. It's got some of the stuff about the weird suspension. There's the deal about the brakes. Kind of a diagram that shows you some of the pieces and what they're called. That was a neat deal to find. I'm not sure, I haven't really dug into this, but it looks pretty cool. I'm not sure if it was like stuck on the coach or what, but it says recreational vehicle data card 78, serial number, model number, interior trim code, furnace, range, oven, refrigerator, water heater, roof air, generator. It's got all the model numbers and serial numbers on it, which that's kind of cool. I think it just came from the factory. It's kind of like a build sheet. So that was in there. I've done some digging online and I found everything that's on there. It's like from the birth of the internet, so it's not in the best of formatting, but guys are working on it. This is a crossover parts interchange, and it's got some bizarre stuff on it. Like on this side, it shows wiper blade refills, oil cooler return hoses, and oil fill caps. It has like a GMC and a Napa and other kind of part numbers over there. So all this stuff's kind of like take it with a grain of salt, but it's a great place to start, you know. Better than nothing. This is my little packet from the Family Motor Coach Association. Kind of had to join it to get into the GMC Dixielanders, which is the local club out of Knoxville, out of this region. Probably seen these plates, but they used to be aluminum. Now they're plastic. So a lot of the guys mount those to their coaches. You'll see them. They'll have the aluminum ones on there. I'm trying to keep these together. GMC Paperworks, don't lose. I've got all these in this high zoot box I just got finished cutting. This is where all my, this one, the papers that we call this, where my certificate of title, state of Arkansas, it's just an open title. Shouldn't have any problem. There's not a huge problem of people stealing 46-year-old motorhomes and trying to fake the paperwork for some reason. There's my little Dixielanders badge. I think that's going to be a great group to kind of hang out with. Try to keep all my receipts and stuff in here. Keep them in one place. There's a kind of a rundown from, I've got an Excel spreadsheet, and every time I buy something, I put it on there. Or every time I find it on my checking account and wonder where it went, I put it on there, because it's usually to this if I don't know right off the bat. So far, this is a little bit old. I bought the thing for $2,800. Towing was $1,500. I've got it kind of broken down into categories of cleaning supplies, parts, tools, wheels. That was a parts thing. I got a couple of wheels off a Rick over in Knoxville for $50 for the pair of them. Kind of hard to find them. And a window for the back, $100 for it. My tires I ordered in a few weeks ago. They're in the in the coach right now. They were $1,283. Big chunk of cash there, but it would have been over a lot more than that if I'd ordered them direct. I've still got to do mounting and balancing on them. Don't know what that's going to be, 150, 200 bucks probably. So I'll probably have around $1,500 and 7 tires. That Dell City order, the little goodies, was $105.82. The flaring tool, everything for the brakes was $247.90. Yeah, that was kind of high, but man, it's important. So, and I think what I kind of had in mind is like get that done and sell it, put it on eBay, sell it for a couple of $100. Then it'll just basically cost me $50 to use it, and probably can do that. So there's the papers, and there's that. So I'm real happy how my vise turned out. You might have not suffered through that little video. I'll run you, just kind of show you what it's about. Then we'll walk around to the coach and I'll show you some other stuff that's been going on. So this is the vise. It's a Doyle. It's a Harbor Freight brand. This part of it here will go into the hitch of the car. I just left the hitch pin in there so I won't lose it. Probably not, it doesn't get in the way, so no big deal. There's a little closer up shot of the little flaring tool. I think that's going to be cool to use and will get me some good results. There's the pile of the air pillows. It definitely did not get damaged. All right, well, I haven't got a ton of stuff done. Not sure what we talked about last time, but show you what I did get done. I got the seats completely out and thrown away. Took the bottom part and cut off the backs. Kept the bottom part so I'd have something to bolt to on the base. It's going to be tall, so I'm going to have to set them down in there. May have to cut the bases. Not sure how all that's going to end up. I took the couch pieces and put them back on there. Stripped all the junk off of them. Got rid of that powder generating junk. Super easy to put back on. Couldn't believe I could remember how to do it, but I did. I'm going to take some plywood and put on these and just get them to where I can sit on them if I want to. Don't know, if take them to get them upholstered, probably going to want to way more than I'm going to be willing to pay. There's a little, let's see if you can see that. There's a little wire that rusted into and broke. And I got this little wire from Tractor Supply. I'm going to replace that in there and tighten those wires up. Got my tires piled in here so I won't get loose anywhere. I think they're going to be great. It'll make it look a lot better when I get tires and wheels put on there. Gonna get the seats moved around, get all my tools gathered up, all my loose stuff gathered up, and start working on the engine and brakes. Engine's fun. Brakes aren't too bad. Sure had to use a lot of vice grip on them. Suckers were on there, rusted on tight. Let's see, what else was I gonna... Oh. Got all the shocks on but this one. Man, they were... It's the passenger front. It was a trip. I've got some better pictures of these. These are my lug nuts. And man, they were rusty. I'll see if I can put an insert picture on them to show you how scrungy they were. They came out great. Use that Evaporust stuff on them. That's where the front shock goes. And the previous owner, mechanic, whatever, had put on some shocks that were thinner up here, and they crushed this together, and then they were a little bit long on that deal down there, so it collapsed the bushing. And man, it was a fight. I had to grind that bushing part of the way off, and then I've had to dolly and hammer this out a little bit. But it's about ready to stick back on there. I got the other side on there. Yeah, here's this is the passenger side. Have not pulled the brake lines off of this one yet. I got them marked with that like right rear, right middle. So hopefully I won't get them confused and cause problems. There's my winder. Gotta figure out how to get that sucker in there. I'd like to just put the whole thing in it instead of taking the glass. I know how to take the glass out and put it in, but if I could just do the whole thing, it'd probably be faster, and then I'd also get to seal up that edge around there. Okay, driver's rear. You can see I've got the brake lines off the bogie here. That's where that piece goes that I'm gonna have to get made. It runs along goes to the metal line here that goes along behind it, drops down. It's held on with a screw in this little bracket. That screw was another story entirely, and then goes back here and goes into the back of the master or the wheel cylinder. I don't know if you can see that or not. I can't really see the view, but pretty simple. It's just like this was a rear wheel. It's, you know, basically from here to there, just or a front drum brake. I've had this off, and bearings look in good shape. Got to take them all off and get them soaking in some mineral spirits and clean them out. So that's the driver's side. I've got that shock on there. They were really beat up. I'll be taking this line off and remaking all of this. Should be fairly straightforward. I mean, $500. That's probably worth it to somebody that isn't dumb enough to try doing it, but I'm dumb enough to try doing it. The front brake calipers that hold the pads on, I'll be getting new ones of those. There's that hose that I hope is going to be the right one for the front brakes, and I should know soon enough. So yeah, there's where we're at. I'll get to working on it, get some updates, and let you know what's going on. There's I've got the tires stacked, the old ones, as tight as I can. Got to take them and get them. I'm thinking about getting them sandblasted. I'm gonna call a guy here in a minute. He's got a sandblaster down around Lebanon. He does sandblasting and powder coating. I'm not sure I'm ready to pop for powder coating. I can just spray bomb them, but it would look better. We'll see. It's not ridiculously expensive. I might just do that. And yeah, we got plenty more fun to do. Thanks for dropping by. Talk to you later. Take her easy.